Hi guys, it's Dr. Ashley, and today we are here to talk about the Hasina 2 palette by Blush Tribe Cosmetics. And it looks just like this. I mean, isn't it gorgeous? And before I open this palette up, if you've never seen any promo pictures of this palette, I call this the palette everybody says they want on trend mode. And this is the reason why. So when new makeup releases come out, Trend Mood, if you follow her on Instagram, I'll link her Instagram account down below. But I always read the comments on Instagram posts just to gauge how people are feeling about certain makeup items. And all the time, I always see, I just wish companies would come out with a blue, purple, green color scheme. Where are the greens and blues? Where are the purples? I'm so tired of warm tones. Where are the cool tones? Guess what? This purple is all blue, purple, and green and cool tone. And I'm going to open it up and it looks just like this. It has one black, which is like the standard color. I mean, it is gorgeous and it performs like a gem. I created this look for you today and I have a demo for you underneath. But I just think that this palette was gorgeous. And it took me a while to purchase it. And not because I didn't think it was gorgeous, but I wanted to see the reviews on it. Not to mention, this company is based out of London. They are in the UK. And so I ordered it last month and it took a month to get to me because I decided to do the cheaper option for shipping, which was the $5 option, and just wait a month basically for this palette to come. I was like, I don't want to pay, like I don't need it in the next 2 weeks. I mean, it'd be great, but I'm like, I'll just get the option that's most economical for me. So as you see right here, it comes with this little sleeve and it's the same artwork that's on the front, but this is on the back right here. And this is how the front of the palette looks. And then this is the back of the palette. And if you notice on the back, we have the ingredients here. And this palette, the cardboard is recyclable. And it's, once you open it, it has a shelf life of 24 months. You know, basically, if you keep your makeup in a cool, dry place, it will last longer than 24 months. And that they're cruelty free. Now, this brand is actually made in China. So the way it works with China, because there can be like, it's a gray area and everybody's just like so confused. A brand can be made, they can make their product in China and be cruelty free. But if they decide to sell their product in China, then they are no longer cruelty free, because if a brand sells something in China, then it must be animal tested. So once again, they can make their product in China and stay cruelty free, which most people do because, you know, it is cheaper to produce products in China versus the United States of America or Italy, where a lot of higher end makeup brands are made. But if they decide to sell this particular palette in China, the brand is no longer cruelty free. And I believe that's what happened with NARS. Before, they were cruelty free and they decided to sell the product in China. So now they're no longer cruelty free because China demands that you animal test if you're going to sell your product there, which is kind of unfair because you could have the best intent in the world, but then it's like a whole subset of people who just kind of miss out on your product if be cruelty free. But that's a different discussion, different video. We're not here for that today. We're here for the Hasina 2. So like I said, I picked this up from the Blush Tribe website, and it's blushtribe.com. And the palette is $22.49. So that's actually the British pound. 22.49 pounds. GBP, and that is the British pounds. Now, you may or may not know that the British pound is actually is higher than the US dollar. The exchange rate, I believe, sometimes it fluctuates depending on what the market is, but it's usually about 1.1 to 1.4 so like $1 equals about 1.4. So the palette cost was $22.49 British pounds. There are discount codes, so I used the discount code, and I was able to get two. I always want to say dollars, but I was able to get $2.50 British pounds off of the pallet. So it brought the pallet and then plus the £4 for shipping. So that was £26.49. And so I did this through PayPal, and I checked my PayPal account before I got on here to record. I didn't receive any international fees. I didn't have to pay taxes. So in total, I was charged $32 and I was charged $35.88 USD. So the pallet base price is $32.74 USD. That's American dollars. So I thought the pallet was on par. I mean, it's not very expensive. It didn't cost a lot for shipping. Like I said, I did the cheapest shipping option, but you do have to be patient and wait. This is an indie brand, so if you follow her Instagram, she does kind of update you on shipping times and if like the website is going to be down. Unfortunately, right now this pallet is out of stock. I did just check. I'm so sorry. Pallet's out of stock, but they are going to restock it. And right now it looks like not even till like January, which sucks because it's October, but hopefully sooner. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert some swatches for you so you can see what the palette looks like. And when I did the swatches, I did not use any primer at all, and I think they were beautiful. Now, swatches, they don't tell the full story of how something is going to perform in your eyes, but sometimes it can be a good indication if it's like going to work or not. So I hope you guys enjoy the swatches, and I think it swatched beautifully. Unfortunately, I think I'm the only person out there, I might be wrong, who has reviewed this palette who is this particular skin complexion. So there are lots of reviews, but I do really like the look that I came out with today. I have not played with all of the shadows yet. This is my first look. I will come back and do another look if you guys want me to, but I think the palette is gorgeous. It performed very well. I didn't have any problems building up the shades. If you have problems with like some of the shimmers, you might just need to change your brush. If you can see that during the tutorial, like when I went in with the shade Granine right here, this purple shimmer, I was using like a ColourPop brush, a flat shader brush, and it was okay when I used it for the shade Shea, which is right here, but when I used it for this particular shade, it did not. And I think, you know, purples and greens are always like the hardest shades to formulate. So like this palette performs well. It's just like a testament. Like the shades are pigmented. They're going to work well on many complexions. You might not even know, like purples and greens go great together. Of course, everybody knows that blue and green goes great together, but purples and greens are very complementary. And they're also very complementary to people who have deeper skin complexions or around my complexion or even a little bit lighter and so forth and so on. So I would say like this might be a palette that intimidates you, but it could be a nice accent palette if you've been wanting some purples, if you've been wanting some, you know, you got light purples, you got some with a pink shift, you have your greens, you have some darker greens, you have this black, you got about 3 blues and plus a shimmer. And it's just a perfect, if you're somebody who really wants neutrals, but then you're like, I just wish I had like a pop of green, I would recommend this palette to you. I think this would be a nice accent palette to your collection if you're just kind of jumping in the color and maybe you just want something across the lid. I think it would be perfectly fine if you didn't want to create a whole look based around this palette. But I feel like this is a good palette where you can get a good quality palette. It's not super expensive, but it's going to perform well, because even if you have like accent shades in your collection, you still don't want them to be underperforming, and you don't want to have to work that hard to achieve a look. Sometimes some things are just not worth it. But I think that this palette is a good performer. I have not used all the shades yet, but I will continue testing it out and bring a full review along with some other palettes that I've shown on my channel. But I think it's a gorgeous palette, like I said once again, and it performs well. You do get a little bit of kick up in the pan, but it's nothing that like drives you crazy. I don't really care about kick up in the pan. It doesn't really bother me unless it's like excessive in the shadow. It's just like running out. I tend to be pretty light-handed with my shadows, so that's not usually an issue for me. I did notice when I was doing my makeup, and you can see when I do the demo, I did not have any fallout. So you could do your base before if like that's your preference. That's not usually my preference. I usually don't do my base before, and I'm not even wearing foundation today. I'm just did a little couple of dabs of concealer of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer underneath my eyes. But I think you're pretty safe to say I did not try to black, but I did use this deep shade right here, and I used this green shade. And let me tell you, it would be a disaster if you had earring just like trickled underneath your face when you had your foundation done. So, and I wasn't even really being careful. I was just applying like regular, because like I said, I don't do my base before my eyes on a normal. But I looked, I was like, I don't have to wipe anything away. Like, it's okay. So overall, like I said, I think this is a beautiful palette. If you're interested in it, wait for the restock, pick it up. Like I said, they have several different shipping options. The only thing with the shipping options is that because it's coming from London, and I believe it's just like a smaller company, you'll get an email when she ships your palette, but you really won't get any tracking information. So once I got this on my doorstep, I was just like, yes, thank you, yes. But like I said, it did take a month, but I was okay with waiting on it. You know, some things are just worth waiting for, and I think that this is worth waiting for. So check out the demo, and I hope you like it. I have my eyebrows filled in with the Anastasia Brow Definer in Caramel. And then I have my Makeup Revolution concealer that I'm using to prime my eyes with in the shade C3. And I'm not sure where this look is going to take us, but we're going to have some fun. I've been waiting for this palette, like I said earlier, and I'm ready to dip in. So let's join the fun. Greens and purples go so well together. Most people don't probably realize that, but they're very complementary shades. So I'm going to make sure that primer is kind of tapped out around my eyes and not really creasing there. And I have my Sephora Pro blending brush. This is the Pro Crease Brush in number 10. And I think I'm going to go in with starting with Iris right here. And I'm going to pick some of that up. And I'm going to knock off a little bit right here. And just going to kind of blend. Now, when I swatched these shades, I swatched them without a primer, and I was just like, ooh. Like I said earlier, this is my first time trying Blush Tribe, so I'm excited. Do the same thing on the other eye right here. And there is a little bit of kick up in the pan. I don't mind kick up, as long as it's just not everywhere, but it's just, you can see it. You probably can't even see it. It's just a little bit. Okay, so now that I have that iris shade down, I'm going to wipe off my brush. I'm going to stick with the same brush. And I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of Anika. This is this blue shade right here. I'm just like, I'm using most of the shades. I'm going to kind of go down a little bit right there and blend it. I'm not going to take it like all the way over to right here, but I'm just going to like take it to like halfway. See what it does right there. And so far, I like how that looks. Do that on the same side right there. It's different. I love this shade. It's very vibrant. Of course, it's looking more like a small wash of color, just because I have this big fluffy blending brush. So I'm going to wipe that brush off again. I'm going to go back in with the shade Iris. That's the first shade that we stepped right here. And I'm going to just kind of lightly blend that over just a little bit more, going back and forth. So make sure we don't lose the purple. Okay, so now I have to take this color earring. It's kind of like a grass green color, Kelly green color. And I want to go ahead and I'm going to take that. I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to go in with this Morphe blending brush right here. And this is the M441. Can you believe I only had this brush for like a week? It looks like I've had this brush for like years, but I haven't. And I'm going to go down a little bit below this blue. Kind of working in it. Oh, oh my. If you can see right there. Picks up very nicely. And I'm bringing it all the way down into this area right in here. And of course, like my eye does that thing right there where it skips. Now this shade does have quite a bit of kick up in the pan. Just kind of pressing and then blending that shade out. And later I'll go back in and fix that little corner. Okay, so I brought you in a little bit closer so you can see. I feel like I'm like ready to take off in a run as I'm sitting. Like I'm sitting, like launching forward. But I was working with the shade Aaron. And I'm going back in and you'll probably see there's a little bit of kick up. So I'm just going to kind of, I like, when there's kick up, I like to just kind of pick up the kick up shade or to kick up particles. So it's like I'm not really wasting that before I just kind of swirl my brush back in. But this shade is so pigmented. I'm really liking it. And like I said, I'm just kind of blending it in, patting and blending it out. And it's really blending well with those other shades. Kind of placing it a little bit in the inner corner also. Just kind of fanning it out to a point. I'm going to go ahead and change brushes. I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place crease brush. And I'm going to pick up the shade that's called Manai, excuse me, it's called Manai. And it's this shade right here. It's like a deeper olive green. It's very, very pretty. I've really been into green eyeshadow lately. Like I've always loved green eyeshadow. Oh, this picks up so nicely. If you can just see right there, it's just, I've always been into it. It just picks up very nicely. Just kind of putting that on the outer corner. But I'm not going to bring it up too high. I do not want to cover up that shade area, which is that brighter green. I'm just going to kind of fade that across the lid just so it's kind of blended. And I'm going to bring it kind of a little bit right in that area, just kind of tapping it over. And then I'm going to take, let's see. It's like these shades are so beautiful. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. But I do, I'm going to take a little bit of shade Shea right here. And I'm going to use this flat brush right here. And this is like a shader brush. This is from ColourPop. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of Shea. And this complements that dark green color. And I'm going to pat it right here. That picks up nicely. And then I would like to pick up a little bit of the shade. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to go in with this purple shade called Grenade. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I'm going to use this shade right here. And I'm going to go ahead with that same brush and pick it up some, so just so you can see it. So my brush is pretty pigmented, and I'm going to fill in right here. Okay, so this shade, it doesn't seem to pick up or go place on the eye as much. I'm going to change brushes to see if that helps. Okay, so I have my Tarte brush. This is like my favorite brush at the moment for my shimmer shades. And I'm going to go ahead and try to pick that up. And it does seem to coat that brush pretty well right there, if you can see. Okay, yeah, it seems to pick up a little bit better. with that brush. Oh yeah. And I'm going to marry that into the other shade on the lid. And I'm going to go back in with that shade. And I do want to wet it. I'm going to use my Fix Plus. And I'm going to go ahead and wet that shade. Oh yeah, it really helps, that purple. You can tell. Okay, I'm not going to carry that above the crease because I like how you can see that shade airing. So I'm going to kind of keep it tight on my lid. And then I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to wipe it off. And I'm going to go in with the shade Monique. And this is Monique right here. And pick that up. Try it off wet first. I mean dry, excuse me. Try it dry. Oh yeah, I'm going to put it right there in that little corner. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, and part of me, I just really want to like use one of these blue shimmers. I don't know why, but I do. I do. So I think I'm going to go in with Mina right here. I'm still using that Tarte brush. I wiped it off with my color switch. And I'm going to kind of put this in the middle right here. Just like, so it's just a lot of fun going on the lid. It's like you can't, it's just a mixture of colors. So it's like one shade, another shade. Really liking how that looks. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to touch up that Aran shade right here where it's like kind of creased. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Sonia Kashuk shader brush. And I'm going to go back in with Aran. Just want to like touch that little shade up. This little area of my eye always needs like some special attention. Oh yeah, that helped. Yeah, so it doesn't look so skippy. And then, since I've been loving like my Fenty Beauty palette, the highlighter palette, I'm just going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take one of these highlighter shades and put it in my inner corner because I've really been loving it. And so I'm going to take this shade called Chills right here. And it does have like a little bit of a green shift. And I'm just going to place that in the inner corner. My inner corner highlight. And you know, sometimes I like to take my inner corner highlights and blend it up into there. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I took my inner corner highlight up a little bit too far. Not feeling that dual chrome shift right there. Only because my eye kind of tends to slope down. So I'm going to go ahead and take my first blending brush, which was that Sephora Pro blending brush. I'm going to go back in with that shade Iris and just kind of lightly calm it down. Yeah, that works. So see, if you mess up sometimes, it's okay. It's okay. Like, you know. Like, you have to practice with makeup. You have to. Like, you just can't wake up and be like, today, I'm going to have the most immaculate, perfect makeup. Like, you don't get up and like, today, I'm going to run 10 miles when you've never ran in your life. You have to practice. You have to work up to it. So it's the same thing with makeup. So don't, like, feel bothered if you mess up. Or sometimes, like, you know, you could just fix your mistakes, you know. You don't have to, you know, be so worried. Like, oh my gosh. It didn't come out perfect. It's a practice, trust me. It took me a moment to get this way. Okay, and here is the finished look. I love how this looks. I'm in love. So I finished up the rest of my makeup. I don't have on any foundation today. I do have a little bit of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer underneath my eyes, and I wear the shade Butterscotch. And then I use for my wing liner, I use my Kat Von D tattoo liner, and this is in the shade Trooper. I know she's a super controversial brand, but I've had these from before, so I'm going to use them up. I even think I have a backup to my backup. Terrible. You don't even know you have a backup of product. However, I believe in vaccinating people. I don't have any kids, but I get myself vaccinated. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to use it. She got my coins. So for I didn't want to do a lipstick. I was feeling very glossy. So I have my Urban Decay lip pencil in Pandemonium. If you need a great, like, just super purple, cool tone purple lip liner, Pandemonium, and they have a matching lipstick. I started to put it on there, but I was like, I think it would just be too matchy. But this is the shade right here. And I'll just do a little quick swatch, just because, you know, we're doing in the purple families. But this is what it looks like. It's great. And it's like, you know, not very common that you see a shade like that. And then, of course, because I'm always dropping something, I'm using the Crimson Glass. And this is by MAC Cosmetics. It has this little holiday packaging. I think this color is still available. It's called Narcissus. And this is the gloss I have on. And then I went ahead and put that Fenty Beauty highlighter on in the same shade that I have in my inner corner, which is right here. And that's the shade that's called Chills. I'm loving this palette. Loving it. I think this is great. So I do have a video on this. Check this video out. But so far, I'm really loving this look. And let me know if you want to see another look on this palette. Because, I mean, I just love greens and blue shadows. Like, and this is just, it's perfection. It's great. So let me know if you want to see another look, and I hope you enjoy what I did today. And thank you, YouTube, for joining in, and thank you. I appreciate you stopping by to look at my channel today. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm growing very quickly. I've only been on about 2 or 3 weeks, but thank you to everybody that subscribed, that supported me, all my friends, all the people I do not know, my new makeup friends. I appreciate you so much. And make sure you leave a comment down below, thumbs up the video, so get those likes out there, and hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with a new video, and that's going to be soon. So you're going to want to see that. Yes, you are. So thank you. And you know I got to dance because I like to dance. So bye, YouTube.